Hey, what's up, y'all? Sarah here. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what you should be doing 100 days out of the CFA exam. So right now it's February 21st, 2020. And according to the Analyst Forum website, it looks like there's 106 days until the CFA exam, which what I understand is the 6th of June, 2020. So I'm making this video for all of you out there that are going through the studying. I myself am a CFA charter holder. I've been a CFA charter holder maybe about 10 years now. But what I can tell you is that I did not get through every exam on the first try. So here's my advice. First thing is I actually have a study planner that you could have. Just send me an email. I'll put my email address below. And, would love to send that over to you. I just ask that you be a little bit understanding. I have a business and I have kids, and, I can't always respond right away when you all ask me for the stuff, the planner, the CFA planners and stuff. So I basically would recommend that you kind of have to retrofit it. So if the exam is on June 6th, you want to be ready by June 1st. Now, that's not always going to be possible. Like, you don't want to peak too early in your exam prep, but by the same reasoning, you also don't want to leave it to the last minute because, with the CFA, there's so much information that if you fall behind it, you fall far enough behind, you're probably never coming back. Leave May for review, okay? Don't even try to cram all the practice exams in. I recommend taking 3 practice exams, getting 3 separate copies of a practice exam and taking each copy twice. So get a copy of the practice exam, and I would suggest that you photocopy it and that you take the test once, score it, learn the things that you did wrong, and then like a week or maybe 2 weeks later, you should take the same exam again, because you want to make sure that if you're getting things wrong, that you've fixed them. And if you continue to get the same concept wrong, then you need to fix it. There's a problem. There's something you're not understanding. So you would stagger your practice exam. So let's say you take one every 3 or 4 days. If you have essentially 6 practice exams to take and you're taking one exam, 2 exams a week, then over 3 weeks, you'll have covered all 6 practice exams. It may not work out exactly like that, but that's just the general strategy for it. That can give you a strategy for how you would get through those exams. It may sound strange to take the same exam, but like I said, you're giving yourself 2 weeks. You probably won't remember the questions. And even if you do, you won't remember the numbers and the calculations. And you, want to just make sure that you're, in addition to knowing the material, you want to make sure that you're in practice exam mode too. Like, replicate the exam day as much as you can when you're taking these practice tests. Like, go into a room and close the door and like don't have music on and don't have your phone ringing. Like, shut off your phone and tell people. Like, I remember when I used to study, I used to tell people, I used to be like, that was like so long ago that it was before everyone was like crazy about their cell phones. And like, that was when a cell phone actually was a cell phone and it wasn't like a little mini computer like it is now. But I remember I used to turn off my cell phone. I used to be like, this was before I had kids, and I'm like, don't call me. I can't respond. I'm going to be like tied up for half the day. But yeah, you're probably going to have to take like a weekend, or like maybe after work, you're going to have to take probably about 3 hours, I would say, and you're going to have to do it. But just make sure that you're not interrupted and that you're focused, because it's like not an insignificant thing to have to go in there and take an exam and be focused for 3 hours long at a time. So, make sure that you are ready mentally for that as well. So if it's the middle to end of February and you basically have March and then you have April, what should you be doing over the next few months? So the important thing is to get the big, difficult concepts out of the way, because you can always go back over the topics that aren't weighted that heavily on the exam, like the quantitative methods and ethics and maybe like corporate finance if you're on level 2. All of those are not the big crux of the exam. The big areas, I mean, at least it was when I took it, were like equity analysis, fixed income, financial statement analysis for level 2. For level 3, it was portfolio management, I think, was more, and equity analysis was less. So you want to get the big difficult concepts out. Oh yeah, like also derivatives, right? Derivatives can get pretty complicated. So I know that it's a temptation to want to go in there and just get the easy stuff out of the way. But at this point, I think you still should be investing time in like accumulating knowledge, not necessarily refining it as much. You can still be learning concepts at this point, but starting when you're in May and oh my goodness, like March and April, you want to be ending the accumulation phase and you want to be going into like refinement. So that's during refinement is when you can cover like the easier concepts that are maybe a little bit more fluid and don't require as much technical sophistication. And those are good to learn later on because then they'll be fresher in your mind. You can memorize them. They won't be that hard to memorize, and it'll just go, the easier stuff you can like leave for the middle to end of your studying. So that's what I would just recommend. And if you want to know how to do this in specific, I do have a study planner that, it's free. Like a lot of these videos I make because I want to help and mentor people who are doing this, because when I was doing it, I had a really difficult time emotionally with it. I matured a lot through it, but, and again, I know a lot of you are doing this to better yourselves and to get somewhere with your career. So, happy to help all of you, but I'll leave my email below and, just respond here also with your CFA study questions. Also, like I'm covering equity research. So if any of you are looking for jobs in equity research, happy to do that, answer your questions as well. Thank you all for watching. Bye now.